going to go for draws. And oh, okay, that looks like maybe a mouse slip of sorts. He's turning it into f3 king f2, but that could have been just knight f3 mouse slip. Who knows?
The way he handled it after that almost doesn't feel like a mouse slip. It was like, yeah, of course I know this line. I've studied it. I mean, he just like bulleted every single move after that. And Hikaru, he's also known to play out these meme openings when he's got this big advantage, playing to the galleries. But this, a more sane position out of it.
A little bit, yeah. It's turned into something that I think is just fine. I am wondering about leaving that king out, and yeah, finally, king back to g1. It's as if nothing, if you joined just now, welcome to the show. Hikaru's playing a totally normal position.
Well, he's got his king to safety, castling it on that right flank as well. Rooks on e1 and d1. Everything looks great, except it's not because of the amount of time that he's actually wasted getting this normal position.
Yeah, Hikaru's actually gained time. We started at a minute. I actually wonder now
Oh my
if
God.
if it's in his mind just ever so slightly that he wants to finish the game at 1 minute, because it's something that he might be starting to think about as his lead increases.
Do you think that's a part of some dare that his chat and his community has given to him, that you have to finish one bullet game with more time than what you started with, Hikaru?
Well, I wouldn't put it past them. We already saw 100 subs change hands for an end game earlier, so anything's possible.
Anything's possible, but it's been very impressive the way Liam's got so many good positions in the entirety of this match, but also in this bullet portion right now. With the black pieces, look at that knight at the center of the board, and you do the math as well. Even though it's level material, black spawns look a lot more menacing.
Yeah, and the knight's just jumping into some beautiful squares. Knight d3 and ooh, rook d6. That's
Queen
unexpected.
f5.
Yeah, a shot there. I mean, you don't have to take it, so queen f7 exists, but just rook d6 took off probably 10 seconds there.
Yeah, because you're just taken aback. Wait, this move was even possible, and finally Liam's knight does find itself in it. And rook c2 could be a threat, so watch out. Rook c2 would have, if
That's
you
a
take
great
that
point.
rook knight e1, forking ideas.
Yeah, speaking of forks, there's one on g4, but there is queen g3 in response, and no, he doesn't even want to take the pawn because it would maybe trade the queens by force.
He's keeping his attack going, but that b7 monster
Wow.
monster right there, things are turning around. But queen e2 check.
That's an amazing move. And that is going to hurt. If the queen gets down there, queen to f2, there's going to be knight h4. I wonder what you do here. Like, is it possible to queen to maybe distract the pieces? I don't know how you prevent this. Queen f2, perhaps?
Queen f2, knight h4, like you said,
Yeah, I
and
guess
then queen
queen
takes knight in
f2.
the end of it.
Exactly. Yeah. That does work. So queen f2, we're going to see knight h4 now. There's two queens on the board. This is madness.
One of them taken away with a completely winning position. Hikaru, desperate, but the checks will not be good enough. He's down a rook, but he continues, but it's Liam who gives the checkmate.
Look at that. And you can see the wry smile there by Hikaru. He's back to this opening. We've seen it before. Bishop d7, queen c8. Now that it's bullet, Lequang did not play h3. I'm curious to see if this works the way it always seems to work when I see Hikaru play this in bullet. h5, h4, and it just feels like checkmate is imminent.
Liam is really putting on a show here. He's putting on the fight when it comes to bullet. And it reminds me of what happened in the Alireza and the Magnus match, right? Aman, where Alireza so far out in his lead takes the pedal, takes his foot off the pedal, off the gas there, and then we see a complete turnaround in the bullet portion, but not good enough. Same thing when Magnus versus Jose Martinez there, and I wonder if that's the chance that Liam is getting to get these points in.
Yeah, I'm wondering about rook takes on h3 there. Don't know if it actually was the best move, but it's the type of move that I feel like you want to play. And Hikaru is going to castle long. We know that that is going to happen at some point, and the engine is screaming for this rook h5 move. Hikaru has different ideas. He wants to target h3.
And he comes back with the knight hitting that bishop. h3 was hanging, so could not have been picked up.
Yeah, this is all Lequang. He's got a very good position here. You don't want to play bishop f2 because if knight f4 in the position. But if black plays f4, then you're happy to drop back.
And Liam is playing brilliantly in this bullet portion. Look at the position that he's amassed with the white pieces, right? You have extra material, but also you're the one who's on the attack here. Black's queen, Hikaru's queen, too far gone to join the party on the king side. I don't even know if it's ever coming back into the game.
Yeah, this is a typical idea. I'm wondering if the knight's even going to be allowed to go there. Knight e6 and bishop e3 all corral this knight, so it just can't join the action. If this queen doesn't get involved with queen takes a2, then I don't really know what's I don't know what it's going to do.
Knight on e6, a beautiful attacker and a defender. Some trades, he defends that a2 pawn. Liam does.
Yeah,
Knight
this
f4
queen
was a
just
big
can't
threat.
move, right? The queen on a6 is not part of the action here. Pay attention to the time as Lekwang navigates this position. He does drop the pawn, but the rook is hanging.
And you can't take queen takes pawn with a check because rook b2 would win material.
Bishop d4, watch for rook takes knight, and knight f4. It's always lurking in the position. Queen takes g6. And that was just a resignation, I think. It happened so fast. I was wondering what
I
just
think it was,
happened there, but I think he resigned.
yeah, because rook f8 just loses in that last position. Rook f8 and you either lose big material or with knight d8 or with rook d8 you get checkmated. And Hikaru
Yeah.
played that last move, rook e7, and he just resigned.
It always catches you off guard when, your opponent makes a move and then the game ends because you almost think, what did I resign? What just happened there? But no, Hikaru did not like his last move and said, okay, don't need to see any more of that. Let's mention the fact that Lekwang Liem has impressed in this bullet portion, so much so that the lead is, I will say, only 12.5 to 7.5. I think it's a great showing for Lekwang. I don't know if it's going to be enough for the comeback, but for the moment, he's actually put together some wins in the bullet, 2 in a row for Lekwang. And actually, of the last 4 games, 3 wins and a draw for Lekwang.
It's been an amazing performance in the bullet by him. And I think now Hikaru realizes it. He can't underestimate Liam, despite what has happened in the match so far. He can't just be taking irrational risks like he's been doing. And he's got to still be a little careful. I don't know if there's enough time to make a full comeback, but things are getting closer, man.
Yep, agreed. What was maybe a time to play f3, king f2 is now suddenly not the time at all. Lekwang is really showing up here in these complications. Takes, maybe rook takes, and there's a big attack coming. Hikaru has to genuinely be careful.
He's about to lose that bishop, but he does give it up, but there's still a lot of attacking
Oh my
possibilities
goodness.
and some crazy tactics there missed by Hikaru.
Wow.
Bishop b6, he loses the queen.
That's a really nice tactic. And he set it up and he's actually going to resign right away. So not really running the clock down as you might expect from Hikaru with that lead. It's now a 4-point deficit. We have to have the conversation that is being had for us on the board here, Tanya. This is a legitimate comeback attempt with 6 minutes on the match clock. You got to be careful.
It's huge. It's massive. And the fact that Hikaru has gone to use his favorite King's Indian defense just shows that how much he wants to get that win in. I'm sure in Hikaru's head, this is not a bullet reality he ever imagined.
Right.
It was like, this is where the match finishes. This is how I destroy it. And it's been a complete turnaround of the story. The position we have, Liam is winning again.
Yep, knight to c4. I'm expecting. It puts a lot of pressure on the position. Rook takes c8 is well timed. You can't take with the queen because of the knight. The knight's coming to a5. The rook's coming to c1. The bishop will drop back to f1. Another amazing position here for Lekwang.
Everything dominating. And what is that bishop on b7 even doing? That's a horrible piece right there. And for white, just playing a move like a3, it's hard for Hikaru to even find a move. He loses a pawn. He loses another pawn. 2 connected passes.
Yeah, he's hunting for counterplay as he should with bishop g5, but the reality is that's 2 connected pass pawns. a5 is happening, bishop f1 is happening. This is all Lekwang in this game as well.
And look at that knight on c8, dominated, has no squares to come to. Queen goes back to e1, tying down the black queen on c7. He can just drop back with his bishop at the right moment. He first attacks the queen. And does he just push b5?
Yeah, I think that Hikaru's knight needs to join the game. And actually, he's securing some counterplay because he's saying, well, you can't play rook c6. So now maybe my queen and rook can get involved. But ultimately, you still feel like you just push all these pawns, right?
And Hikaru's out with a shake of his head. He knows that this has gone terribly wrong. Rook a1 coming in, but the bishop on f1 does a beautiful job of defending everything. Offers a queen trade. You trade, and that's resignation. You've got to keep the queens on the board.
Yeah, rook a2. There is queen d3. Hunting down that knight. And I mean, if you go and play defense, the pawns all go. The d pawn, the a pawn. This is, again, over. And we're bringing this back. There's 4 minutes left. We have to have a different conversation here, Tanya.
This is insane. It's going to be 9.5 to 12.5, just a 3-point deficit. Hikaru Nakamura cannot believe it. I cannot believe it.